John William Waterhouse was a famous English painter who was influenced by the Pre-Raphaelite style and went on to embellish his technique to reflect the changing outlook of a contemporary society. He was born in Rome, Italy, in early 1849 to two English painters who lived there. He grew up surrounded by the beauty and history of ancient Rome, which later inspired many of his paintings based on classical myths and legends. When he was 5 years old, his family moved back to London, where he received his artistic education. He was encouraged to sketch works in the British Museum, the National Gallery, and the Victoria and Albert Museum, where he developed his skills and appreciation for art. He entered the Royal Academy of Art School in 1871, first studying sculpture and then switching to painting. He attended school in South Kensington, where he learned various subjects such as drawing, painting, sculpture, anatomy, perspective, and history. He also studied classical literature and mythology, which would later inspire many of his artworks. Waterhouse was fascinated by the stories and legends of ancient Greece and Rome, as well as medieval tales of knights and damsels. He loved to imagine the scenes and characters from these stories, and to express them in his paintings. He was especially drawn to the themes of love, beauty, tragedy, and death. He often depicted women as enchanting and mysterious figures, who could be either innocent or dangerous. Waterhouse's education in England shaped his ideas towards art in several ways. First, it gave him a solid foundation of technical skills and knowledge that he could apply to his own style. Second, it exposed him to the works of other artists, such as the Pre-Raphaelites, who influenced his use of color and detail. Third, it stimulated his imagination and creativity, by introducing him to a rich and diverse cultural heritage that he could draw from. Waterhouse was not only a painter, but also a storyteller, who used his art to convey his vision of the world. Waterhouse's early paintings were not very Pre-Raphaelite, but rather followed the academic style of Alma-Tadema and Leighton. He painted scenes from ancient Greece and Rome, often featuring beautiful women in historical costumes and settings. He exhibited his paintings at the Royal Academy summer exhibitions, where he gained recognition and popularity. Waterhouse gradually adopted the Pre-Raphaelite style and subject matter, influenced by the works of Rossetti, Millais, and Hunt. He painted many scenes from literature, such as Shakespeare, Tennyson, Keats, and Homer. He also painted women from Arthurian legend and Greek mythology, such as Ophelia, the Lady of Shalott, Circe, and Pandora. His paintings are known for their rich colors, dramatic compositions, and romantic atmosphere. John William Waterhouse became one of the most famous and influential painters of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, a group of artists who rebelled against the academic standards of their time and sought inspiration from medieval and early Renaissance art. Waterhouse's paintings are full of rich colors, intricate details, and romantic themes, often featuring beautiful women from mythology, literature, and history. Waterhouse joined the Pre-Raphaelites in 1883, when he was already an established painter. He was influenced by their ideals of realism, naturalism, and symbolism, as well as their admiration for the works of Dante Gabriel Rossetti, William Holman Hunt, and John Everett Millais. Waterhouse shared their fascination with classical and medieval subjects, such as Ophelia, the Lady of Shalott, and the Siren. He also explored his own interests in Arthurian legends, Greek myths, and Shakespearean dramas. Waterhouse's style evolved over time, as he experimented with different techniques and influences. He became more interested in the effects of light and atmosphere, and incorporated elements of Impressionism and aestheticism into his paintings. He also developed a more personal and expressive approach to his subjects, creating more complex and ambiguous narratives. His later works show a darker and more mysterious mood, reflecting his own struggles with illness and depression. John William Waterhouse was a brilliant painter who used symbolism to convey deeper meanings and emotions in his artworks. He was influenced by an earlier era, and came to reject the academic style of painting of the 19th century, and sought to revive the medieval and classical ideals of beauty, truth, and morality. Waterhouse often depicted scenes from mythology, literature, and history, using symbols to enhance the narrative and the mood of his paintings. One example of how Waterhouse used symbolism is his painting The Lady of Shalott, based on the poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson. The painting shows a young woman who is cursed to weave a tapestry of the world without looking at it directly, only through a mirror. She falls in love with Sir Lancelot, who passes by her tower, and decides to look at him with her own eyes, breaking the curse and causing her death. Waterhouse uses several symbols to illustrate her fate and her feelings. The mirror, which shatters as she looks away from it, represents her detachment from reality and her loss of innocence. The tapestry, which unravels as she leaves it behind, represents her unfinished life and her wasted talent. The candle, which burns out as she departs, represents her fading vitality and her impending doom. The crucifix, which she holds in her hand, represents her faith and her hope for salvation. The boat, which carries her to Camelot, represents her journey to the afterlife and her final destination. Another example of how Waterhouse used symbolism is his painting, Hylas and the Nymphs, based on the Greek myth of Hylas, a companion of Hercules who was abducted by water nymphs while fetching water for their camp. The painting shows Hylas being lured by aquatic female spirits into their pond, unaware of their intentions. Waterhouse uses several symbols to convey the contrast between Hylas and these treacherous entities, and their attraction and danger. The water lilies, which float on the surface of the pond, represent the beauty and innocence of nature and the nymphs. The water weeds, which entangle Hylas' legs and pull him down, represent the hidden peril and malice of nature and these nefarious creatures. The pitcher, which Hylas drops as he reaches for one of the nymphs, represents his duty and loyalty to Hercules and his comrades. The lantern, which he holds in his other hand, represents his reason and wisdom that he abandons for his passion. These are just two examples of how John William Waterhouse used symbolism in his paintings to create stunning and meaningful artworks that enchant the viewers and invite them to explore the stories and themes behind them. He was a master of using symbols to express his artistic vision and his personal interpretation of mythology, literature, and history. Waterhouse's paintings have captivated generations of viewers with their beauty, emotion, and symbolism. He was a real expert when it came to blending the old and the new, the realistic and the fantastical, the familiar and the exotic. He was a true Pre-Raphaelite in spirit, who never stopped challenging himself and his art. Waterhouse was a successful and respected artist in his lifetime. He became an associate member of the Royal Academy in 1885 and a full member in 1895. He continued to paint until his death in 1917, leaving behind a legacy of brilliant and fascinating paintings that are admired by many today. If you're enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos, and you'll never miss out. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really helps out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you think this video would be helpful or entertaining for someone else, please share it with them. Finally, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Hitting the bell ensures that you'll always be notified when we upload new content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.